Welcome back to another Pokemon Market Monday, home of the OG weekly market updates, where every Monday morning we go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going up in price. We do also cover the big Pokemon news, like cards are set to get revealed. And we are doing the biggest giveaway that I've ever done on this channel. We are giving away a complete master set of unlimited base set, Charizard included. Now the cards are not, in perfect condition or anything like that, but it's still a complete master set of base set. And we have to thank Grants Gradables and the Cardstock Medina Card Show, which is going to be August 29th, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. in Minnesota. It's completely free to get in, completely free parking, over 100 plus vendor tables. Definitely check that out. But now this giveaway is going to be on Instagram and Facebook. So you're going to have to go there, follow me and Grants Gradables, and share it with 3 friends and leave a comment. But I'll have all the rules in the description of this video. And of course, I'm going to make a post on Instagram and probably a short and reel and stuff. So definitely check that out. I am so excited to give this away because I know a lot of people, gave this away as a kid or have been dreaming about this forever. So I'm just super excited. And of course, we do have to give a quick thanks to our video sponsors, and that is Arizona TCG. If you guys have a bunch of graded cards you're looking to sell, PSA, CGC, Beckett, it does not matter. Pokemon, One Piece, they go on it all. Definitely check out Arizona TCG. You just send them all your graded cards. They're going to take professional scans. And this is honestly one of the best price consignment services in the game today. I'm not even joking. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. They will handle everything for you, and they will get you top dollar. And of course, if you guys want to try grading with tag for your first time, click the link, use the code BEARD102, you get 10% off your first submission. And same thing with PSA, click the link, use the code BEARD25, you get $25 off your first submission. You just got to use a new email for that every time. And please download the Fanatics Collect app. We do a giveaway every single Thursday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Central, where you guys can watch my Market Monday and my Falling Friday hours before I post it on YouTube. Completely free. I'm live in the chat. It's a ton of fun. You can come ask me questions like What If Wednesday. So definitely check that out. All right, starting off with celebrations. We're going to be clicking on this ETB. Still not going back up in price. Was at $498. Now last sold $342, $355, and $360. My Falling Fridays have been very busy lately. UPC still doing pretty good, but still technically going down. Was at $1,319. Now last sold $1,200, $1,239. A bunch at $1,200. So really has not dropped too much. A little over $100. Compared to like the 151 UPC that's dropped hundreds of dollars. And got to check that Pokemon Center ETB was at $575. Now $566, $534. We got one at $499 with a picture. Doesn't say it's torn or anything, but most of the sales are still right around $550. So that box is holding pretty strong. What else do we have? Mini tin display, market price $514. And let's check the premium figure collection. We just do not get a ton of sales for this box. Last sold for this one is $270, $260, and $336. Like I said, we get a sale like every week, if that. Next, Evolving Skies booster box. Bouncing back a little bit, not a ton. So it was at $2,700. Now, most of the sales now, $25, $25.50, $2,400. When before, we even had a couple at like $22, $23 that were kind of slipping through. All right, regular ETB right here. Here's the Umbreon one. Still dropping, was at $605. Now last sold $550, $599. A ton at $550. So really only dropped like $50. And Pokemon Center ETB with Umbreon. Still doing solid. Last sold $999. Before that was $1,400. The one at $999 does have a small cut. So the last biggest sale is $1,400. And then before that, 5 days before, was $1,100. Which is right with the rest of the sales. Anything else from Evolving? Build and Battle Stadium, market price $590. And the Build and Battle box is $313. People were laughing at me when I was buying those. Next, we have Crown Zenith. So here is the regular ETB. Was at $348. Now last sold $329, $330. So really has not dropped too much. Pokemon Center ETB for Crown Zenith was at $598. Now $534, $500, $491. What else do we got? Mini tin display, $513. Sea and Sky Premium Collection, $385. Booster Bundle, $219. But right next, we have 151 Booster Bundle set, $180. The Blooming Waters Premium Collection market price is $330. Let's click this UPC. Looks like it's leveling out now. Last sold for this one, $929, $930. So yeah, leveling out right around $920 to $930 when it was at about $1,200. Next, we got the Pokemon Center ETB. Was at $1,383. Now last sold 1,200, 1050 with a tear. Otherwise, most of them are between 1,200 to 1,300. And regular ETB was at 620, and before that was at 660. Now 565, 560. Got one high one at 680, which makes no sense, but most of them are right around 550 to 560. And booster bundle, let's see here. 151 binder collection was at 247. Now last sold 210, and quite a few at 215. The high one is 244. Next, we have Prismatic Evolutions. Here is the SPC, still dropping. Was at $305. Now last sold 261, 258, and 260. Let's see what else is dropping for Prismatic. The Dollar General ETB still sitting at $200, but it never has any sales ever. So here's the regular ETB, was at 207. Now 157, 165, a ton at 160. Next, we have, that's what I wanted to see, the Premium Figure Collection, bouncing back a little bit. This is at 250, dropped down to 230, went back up to 240, dropped back down to 215, now sitting a little over 220 to 225. And let's see here, where is the Pokemon Center ETB? 457 market price, so still dropping. Was at 513, looks like it's leveling out though at least. Last sold 455, 460, and a couple at 430 and 420. Next, Destined Rivals, dropping like crazy. Regular ETB still dropping. Last sold 124, 115, 119, 117. And we have the booster box, dropping like crazy. Was at 637. Now, all right around 419. We got one at 410. Some about 13 of them at $410. I'm actually very, very excited because I would love to pick up a few more Destined Rivals booster boxes, because this is the type of set too that you're going to want more than just a couple more like the rest of the sets. Like I always get, at least 4 booster boxes of every set. But this is a set, it would not be a bad idea having, 5, 6, or 7 of these boxes, because they're just so sick. So I'm definitely going to pick up a few more, especially if it gets into the, higher mid 300s. That's just going to be crazy. And Pokemon Center ETB. This is another one I'd love to pick up too if it gets a little bit cheaper. Was at 560. Now last sold 450, 489, and 475. Next, we have Ascended Heroes. Here's that new Focus Fighters box that is bouncing back. Was at 240. Dropped down to 204. Now 234, 239, and $240. Bounced right back. And we have the Pokemon Center ETB still dropping. Was at 525. Now 425, 380, and 367. Next, we have the regular ETB. It's dropping super slowly at least. This was at 202, which was just a crazy spike. And then it was at 173. And the last couple months, it's now at 168. We got a couple at 165 and one at 163. So it's really only dropped like $10 this whole summer. So it's really only dropped like $10 since June. But all right, let's get into it. We have the Perfect Order booster box just bouncing back a little bit. It got down to 165. Now all last sold is 175. Now here's Chaos Rising. Got down to 172. Now last sold all 187, 194, a bunch in the 185s. But most of the sales are all right at $187. Next, we have Phantasmal Flames bouncing back a little bit. Was at 428, got down to 370, and now last sold 393, pretty much all at 393 every sale. And Surging Sparks booster box is still doing pretty good. Was at 262, now last sold 307, 300, 305. It's like the only booster box that really didn't drop in price this summer, which is kind of crazy. And we have the Sword and Shield booster box. So we got another new sale. Last sold is $791. Before that was $690. One of the most expensive Sword and Shield booster boxes, and it's literally probably the worst set in the entire era, which is just crazy. And this is the exact reason why I like to collect a little bit of everything. You never know what they're not going to reprint. This will take a long time to sell, but when you do sell it, it's a lot of money. Next, we have Temporal Forces booster box. Was at 330, dropped down to 295. Now last sold 321, 302, 315, 305. And here is the 30th Celebrations UPC. This is the night one. Bouncing back a little bit. Got down to 404. I know this box isn't even out yet. It's on pre-order. This is a pre-sale item on TCG Player, but now all last sold is $530. And the day one is still slowly dropping. So the night one definitely bounced back a little bit and sitting right around $500, which I mean makes sense for the Umbreon. Next, we have the Ascended Heroes Mega for Alligator EX box. Was at 58, dropped down to like 52, 53, and now last sold right around $58, $59. So not going up a ton. Next, we have the Phantasmal Flames regular ETB. Was at 163, dropped down to 148, and now last sold 149, 157, 155. So just starting to bounce back a little bit. Obviously, you know, these things aren't going to be going crazy with everything dropping. Next, we have the Surging Sparks ETB. Same exact looking chart. So 135, dropped down to 119, and now last sold 139, 125, a bunch in the mid 120s. And here is the Twilight Masquerade Pokemon Center ETB, another item that really has not dropped at all this summer. Was at 180, but it really hasn't gone up too much either. Last sales 180, and then the rest of them are all at $190. So it's really only gone up, you know, $10 in the last 3 months. Next, we have the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETB. This is the Violet one. Was at $300. Now last sold $327, $315, and $320. Next, we have the Mega Charizard X UPC. Got down to $222. Now last sold $234, $235, and $250. So we got 4 of them at $250. Next, we have the Black Bolt Booster Bundle. Was at $73. Now $90, $100, $92, $95. Next, we have the Obsidian Flames Booster Bundle. Was at $107. Now last sold $125, $128, and $120. Next, we have the Paldean Fates Booster Bundle. Got down to $155. Now last sold $164, $177. Pretty much all right at $175. Let's get into some cards. Not a ton of cards going up in price yet. It's kind of crazy. All right, next, get into some cards. We do not have a ton of cards going up in price. Here's the Flygon Illustration Rare, literally going up from like $4 or $5 to now we have sales at $8. Still got a bunch at $4, a bunch at $5, a bunch at $6. So going up in price a little bit, and I think it deserves it. It's an amazing card. It should be a $10, $12 card. It's just in a small set. Next, we have the VULTX from Mega Evolution. This was at about $16, $17. Now last sold $28, $21, bunch at $27. We still got a couple sales at $18 or $19. A couple at like $20, $21. Next, we have the Morpeko from Paradox Rift. Was at $38. Now last sold $66, $55, $59, and $52. Still holding really strong. Next, we have the Misty Psyduck bouncing back just a little bit. So this card was at $84 in June. And then now dropped down to $59. Now last sold $71. We got 70, 69, 68, a couple at 79. So bouncing back. It is a super nice card, especially having Psyduck and Misty in the same card. It's just top tier. All right, next we have the Sylveon EX SIR from Prismatic, and it has a couple weird sales. So it was at $440, got up to $550, dropped down to $509. Now last sold $794, $617, $617, and then the rest of the sales go back to like $490 and $500, a couple at $550. So I just thought that was weird, a couple really high sales. And that's all it takes too. Someone does that with a few big cards, or a group of people does that, and these cards start to go right back up in price. All right, next we have the Squirtle Mega Evolution promo. This was at $33, dropped down to about $24, $25. Now all last sold is like $27. We got a couple of $26 and a couple of $28. So just starting to bounce back a little bit. Next we have the Charizard VMAX promo. Love this thing. Was at $43. And now last sold, we got 53, 46, another one at 53, a bunch in the low 50s, and then a bunch in the mid 40s, so it hasn't gone up a ton yet. And the Charizard V was at 63, got down to 47, and now last sold 53, 51. We got one at 62, got one at 49. So these 3 Charizard cards are just starting to bounce back a little bit. And I genuinely feel like this Charizard V here and this Charizard V Max are literally like the 2 most undervalued cards in all of Pokemon right now. They come out of a $500 UPC. This one is the beautiful V, so it's not the V-Star or the V-Max, so it's just their regular versions. With Venusaur on the back, they just got done fighting. And then the Charizard V-Max is basically the Godzilla Charizard. So I just feel like they're just so undervalued. And we have the Charizard V-Star. This one's obviously a little more expensive. Was at 98, dropped down to 74, and now last sold 77, 77, 80. We got one at 95, 82. So still in the mid 70s, but yeah, just bouncing back a little bit. because I know a lot of people are watching them, hoping they're going to drop a little bit more so they could pick them up. Next, we have the Reshiram Full Art from Legendary Treasures Radiant Collection. So it's at $150. Now last sold $399, which is just crazy because the sale before that is $169, $175, $172, $190. Next, we have the Gold Mew from $151. Was at $36, got done about $26, $25. Now last sold all right around $30. We got the low at $29 and the high at $39. Well, no, $49, which is ridiculously high. Next, we have the Gold Metal Charizard from Celebrations. This was at $280. Now it last sold $314, $325, and $336. And we have a couple cards from Storm Emeralda. They're technically not going up in price, but we're just going to keep an eye on the market. So here's the Kyogre. Was at $47. Now last sold $21 and $20. Next, here's the Raikou. That's what I just named my new Bengal cat after. Was at $93. Now last sold pretty much all at $80. And here is the Mega Rayquaza EX. Was at $844. Now last sold $495, $510, $500. And here is the Gold Mega Rayquaza. Last sold $500, and the sale before that was $12.99. There's just literally none of these on TCG Player right now. There's 4 total. So I feel like this card is actually pretty rare. Let's see how many of the SARs are on here. Oh, we got a decent amount. Not a ton still, but a lot more than the gold. And last on the list, we have more 30th anniversary sales. I don't know where people are getting these cards. I mean, they're obviously just stolen. But it's kind of crazy how many are popping up. So here we have the Greninja here. Let's see, that's not in USD. We got one at $150, was listed at $200 for the Greninja SIR, and another one that sold before that sold for $270. We had a Gengar that sold for $18.50, another one that sold for $18.50. What's crazy to me is how many of them are available on eBay right now. So here's the Dark Pikachu. This is on auction right now at $1,875 with 3 days left. We have the Light Pikachu, and they're asking $21.50, a Gengar asking $21.50, a Gengar asking $14.99. We got the Fuecoco EX SIR, 10 bids, 4 days left on that at $38. We got another Gengar listed at $2,250. We got a Sylveon on auction at $15.75. We got the Sneasel with the gold border. It looks so nice. I'm actually super excited. I still remember pulling this card as a kid, and it was one of my favorite cards. Like, having a black Pokemon card was mind-blowing to me at the time. So I collected all the black cards. I just thought they were so cool. But they're asking $1,000 for that, which is just hilarious. And no one, I don't think, is going to pay that. We also have the Uxie listed at $1,000. And here is the Mewtwo. And they want to start the bid at $2,500. It has 0 bids with 3 days left. So not sure if that one will actually sell. Yeah, it just blows my mind how many of these are on the market and like how people are just stealing these cards. It's just crazy to me. But I just like looking at these prices because I just find it curious to see what people are, paying for these cards before the set even comes out. And I think it's just craziness. But then it also kind of lets me know like how much these cards are going to sell for when we actually get them, depending on how much they're selling for before the set even comes out. And anyone who's buying these cards right now to just have them and not grade them, you're going to lose so much money. Like, it's actually insane. And then you're also buying stolen cards too. So it's just wild. But all right, that was this week's Pokemon Market Monday. Definitely go check out that giveaway. Like I said, the biggest giveaway we've ever done on this channel. I'm genuinely so excited. And then, of course, if you guys like this content, want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that like and comment. If you guys want to support more, check out my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube membership. All that, you guys know what to do. You guys are the absolute best. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys want to watch my last Sunday video where I actually show you guys how to work TCG Player, so definitely send that to anybody who is brand new to the hobby. And even if you use it all the time, I might have some tips and tricks in there you might not know. Click that video above. Otherwise, if you guys want to watch any of my other vending videos, I have an entire playlist above also. But all right, see you next time.